Take that, you stupid moblin.
Okay, we're ready.
Yeah,
can
give
we
me
go?
a sec. Give me a sec. Flurry rush. Yes.
What are you doing?
I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, man. It's awesome.
Wait, Tears of the Tears of the Kingdom is not coming out at least for a week.
Yeah, they don't know that, and by the time this episode is out, it will already be out, and I will be playing
Wait,
it anyway.
if it's not out yet, what are you playing?
I'm preparing for it. It's the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and it's freaking awesome,
Okay,
man.
that's amazing, but we are about to record the episode. People are waiting. Could you please put it away?
Fine. Let's go.
Hello, everyone! You're listening and watching After a Gamers, a podcast where two nerdy Czech guys sit behind a microphone and this time go to the rabbit hole of video game press. I'm Michal.
And I'm Matouš.
So, welcome back to episode 5 of After a Gamers. We're so psyched that you're here with us. It's been an amazing journey so far. We're really enjoying making this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
fun.
we decided to match T-shirt for some reason today. It wasn't really planned, so it's
Bayonetta is cool, hey?
yeah. We have a good taste, obviously, good fashion
Definitely.
choice. Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's been a pretty wild month.
For sure.
For both of us, we apologize that the episode is coming a bit late than usual. We just had some medical problems, both of us. So, well, mainly me. But so sorry that the episode is coming out a bit late. But nevertheless, what have you been playing?
Well, I've actually been a little busy. I tried the Atomic Heart since it was in Game Pass.
Yeah.
I gotta say, quite ambitious title. Visually looks pretty great. Some fancy lighting effects, even on the Series X, looks great. But I mean, story-wise, it didn't feel like it makes a lot of sense. The gameplay also wasn't super awesome the whole time, and I later learned about kind of problematic origin of the game.
Yeah.
It seems like some Russian money were involved.
Well,
whatever you make out of it.
It is a Russian studio who made it, but yeah, the owner or some shareholders have a connection to the Russian government apparently.
Yeah.
Which
but
is
it seems like the studio is like trying to distance themselves from it. Like they obviously are not into a real war, which is of course great because we all should be against the war. But the origin is problematic, and for the story, the ending didn't really leave me satisfied.
True. I played it too, and the ending was just so unsatisfying. Sorry, it just felt like no matter what you do, there was no good ending at all, and also
spoilers. I mean,
okay,
no, that's not really spoilers.
But
you mean a good ending, like satisfying enough?
Satisfying
I would say,
ending, yeah. And also the main character is so annoying. Like the voice actor, himself is not bad. It's just the performance was. I like the glove.
The glove was fun.
That was interesting. But otherwise,
I also kind of sad that some characters didn't get more space.
Yeah,
like
true.
Granny Xena
was
fun.
She was.
Larissa was really interesting character.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I also felt like the open world was a little bit wasted.
Yeah, it was kind of meh.
Yeah,
and it felt kind of counterproductive because the machines would constantly respawn. You could never destroy the security cameras forever. Yeah, the open worlding wasn't really the strongest suite, but we might maybe talk about this and open world games in the future episode. So stay tuned, follow us on Spotify, YouTube, social media, wherever you listen to us. We really appreciate it. And yeah, it's coming soon, maybe.
Anything else you've been playing?
And as we mentioned in the intro gag, hopefully we managed to record it just fine. I've been playing Hyrule Warriors, preparing myself for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm really excited about that one, and I actually haven't had time to play the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity before. So it's like the Dynasty Warriors type game. I think the same studio was making it. Yeah. But this one is quite fun. It's with the sets and the characters and the same voice actors from Breath of the Wild. It takes a different, probably non-canon story, but still fun. Okay. What have you been playing?
Yeah, I'm still playing Hogwarts Legacy. Still haven't finished
again?
It. Well, not again. I'm still playing it. Dude, I have a child and I have a job, so I don't have that much time for playing video games. But whenever I do, I try to play as much as I can. But also, I played Mordhau, which came on the Epic Games. Right. And that's a fun game. I tried to play. Before I played Chivalry 2, and that game was so badly optimized that it was basically unplayable. No matter settings I put it on, I always had bad frame rate and glitches. But Mordhau runs smoothly. The community is beautiful and helpful. It's an amazing game. And also, together, we, as After Gamers on my Twitch channel, we played Dying Light together. That was a lot of fun. And
it's a great game.
Yeah, it's a great game. We died like 5 minutes into the gameplay.
We were really the Dying Light.
Yeah, as you can see now. Ouch.
Oh,
you down?
I'm dead. Yeah, I forgot I had like low health. So you need to defend me and then pick me up.
Oh,
18 seconds.
Entry. Coming, my brother was coming. Oh, the heck. Okay, oh, I'm down.
Yeah, way to go. We're doing great. Don't you think?
But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. It's a fun game. I hope that we can finish the game and then do the Dying Light 2, which I still haven't played yet. So
yeah, we'll see how is it with the crossplay features and stuff. But we played it together on PCs. I previously finished it on Switch, so the mouse controls work in the game quite differently than on the controller. Who would have thought?
Yeah, so if you want to watch us play Dying Light, me getting scared as hell and both of us being dumb and not knowing which way to go and how to die very, very quickly, just come to my Twitch. Link is in the description.
Yes.
Previously on After Gamers.
Okay, so let's move on to previously on After Gamers, what we've been discussing, what happened since then, like a little news feed in our podcast, and we talked about remakes, remasters, reboots, ports last time, and we mentioned the Knights of the Old Republic, and actually it was one of the games that we put a question on our Instagram, and some of you mentioned KOTOR as one of the games that you would love to be remade. So we had a long time ago, it feels like years ago, like we had a teaser trailer for KOTOR, and apparently lately there has been some news that the KOTOR is still in development. Obviously, previously it was under the baton of Asper Media, who were the original devs, and now it's in the hands of Saber Interactive, people who are known for World War Z, Evil Dead, the game. To be honest, like World War Z and Evil Dead, the game, so I'm a bit scared. I never played KOTOR, but I'm scared for you guys, so you don't have to be.
We'll see. Maybe it will turn out good. There's difference between making your own game and between remaking something new. So
yeah. Another game that will be remade is Metal Gear 3. It's going to be remade for PS5.
well,
only.
this is actually, as far as I know, a rumor that it might be for PS5 only. And if it's confirmed, then boo!
Yeah.
Remakes, especially if they are not remakes of first-party exclusive. I mean, I understand that they would be only on one platform. Remakes and remasters should aim at a whole new group of gamers.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think remakes and remasters should be released on as much platforms as possible. So if PS5 can run it, Xbox Series X, which is like 1 or 2% more powerful, can run it too.
Yeah.
And PC, which can be much more powerful, can also run it. So
I wonder how much Konami is involved if they just like gave them like free hand, which I doubt because Konami is Konami. They switch from making AAA games to
making
mobile.
triple B games.
No, they're making mobile games now basically.
So
That's what they're
triple C games.
Yeah. So we'll see. Definitely gonna watch that how it's gonna develop and see what's gonna happen with Metal Gear 3 because that's quite a big news if it's true. And hopefully it's just a rumor that it's going to be only PS5.
Or if it's timed exclusive, I guess that's fine. But I don't like when like these remakes come only to one platform.
Yeah. I would blame Konami for that. I would not blame PlayStation.
Well,
generally.
I mean, Sony has kind of anti-consumer parasitic deals with the likes of Square Enix
Fair
and stuff. So who knows? I mean, we don't know what's exactly is involved, so we cannot judge. But it would suck if it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
And I would like to go to the last bit of previously news. We talked about Steam Deck quite a lot. I think it's the topic we like to return to.
There's a reason why, though.
Yeah, I guess a lot of you may have heard about Asus ROG Ally, the gaming handheld device, which is supposed to launch 11th May, when they will also announce the retail price and more details. And it's looking quite interesting because it's rocking brand new handheld PC SoC from AMD, the Z1 and Z1 Extreme, which are even the base Z1 is like 5 times more powerful than the Switch, and the Z1 Extreme is like 20 times or something.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not a technical guy. You're the technical guy in this podcast.
Yeah, it looks like quite capable CPUs and GPUs that run pretty nicely in a handheld device because they were obviously optimized for them. And the price is looking really interesting too. It's according to rumors and leaks, so not 100% confirmed, but it seems like it might cost $700 USD, which is very comparable to the higher end Steam Deck, but it seems like the $700 USD might be even for the more expensive one with the Z1 Extreme chip. So, I mean, it's looking quite interesting. And fun fact, it's running Windows. So you should be able to do some other stuff with that. All games should run natively on Windows, or like more games than on Steam Deck, because no Proton layer required. So it's looking really promising. So I'm curious how will it turn out. But from the previews some media had, they really liked it so far.
Okay, interesting. I didn't like Windows in handheld. That's been done before, right? Like
it's like the AI Neo, for example, is the most popular.
Is it like modified version of Windows?
No. It's like a normal Windows on an x86 chip, like kind of standard laptop CPU.
Cool. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So also there are some rumors that these chips might come into Steam Deck 2, but Valve is silent about that. So we don't know if or when Steam Deck 2 will ever come out.
Maybe they'll make like, how Switch made the
Switch OLED?
Switch OLED or Switch Lite, and they maybe make Switch the Steam Deck, I don't know, easy or light.
Well, what we know for sure, there will never be Steam Deck 3 because Valve can't count to 3. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Well, because now they have Team Fortress 1 and 2. They have Half-Life 1 and 2.
They have
Portal 1 and 2. And now they have Counter-Strike and Counter-Strike 2. So the circle is now complete. So we'll see what the future
what
will be
holds.
if it will be like huge competition for the Steam Deck, and what it's going to be very interesting to see that market, what will happen.
Yeah, for sure. But it's what one thinks is really set in stone, that Steam Deck kind of helped to move this market around, and I'm not sure Asus would work on this device if it wasn't for the Steam Deck.
We'll see.
Possibly, but it seems that Steam Deck kind of started the avalanche.
Yeah. We'll see. If the video game press or media is known for something, it's the reviews. Usually video article where the game is dissected, looked at critically, and often given a score, like 0 to 10 or 0 to 100, etc. A lot of people are looking at these as references for buying those games. Video game critics are criticized, though, these days for their critics, the booms, as they give a big score to games that majority of players deem mediocre at best. Games like FIFA, NHL, Madden, Call of Duty, Battlefield, etc. are getting a really good scores, quotes like, "It has something for everyone," after heavily criticizing the game's difficulty, became a meme, basically. Gamers all over the world, including us, are baffled by these reviews. But when we compare them to the small creators, YouTubers, who are generally more critical of some of the video game aspects. So just a quick question to maybe start a conversation. What was the worst review you've ever read, watched?
Okay, that's an interesting question. I'm not sure which one would be the worst, but as opposed to maybe what you've said in the before, I remember one worst review in terms of kind of shaming EA because I think it was on Nintendo Live when the new FIFA game was the same as the last year, just with updated roster, and that's it. So they copy-pasted their review for a previous year, added one paragraph like, yeah, we did this, and significantly cut down the score. I mean, it's not like bad review, but you get the idea. I actually quite like this creativity when when the game is bad or lazy, and they just did this.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of companies who did this, and especially they are more of a video based critics like IGN.
I think the thing is, I don't really follow those big media that have like team of 30 writers that write reviews, and with these media, it's oftentimes like they don't want to lose the relationship with the publisher to get the review keys in advance.
Yeah.
Because these media these days, they want to be the first to publish the review because it gets them the most views. And I don't know about you, but I actually find it more appealing to just read the reviews of smaller media or smaller critics that I kind of know what to expect from them, what games they like and they don't. And sometimes, even if they don't like something, doesn't mean I may not like it, because if the review is good, they will, of course, point some objectively good aspects, give credits where it's due. So,
yeah. Well, speaking of the reviews coming at a certain time, last week for us, we are recording on the 8th of May. Last week, Redfall came out.
Yeah.
And I was pretty excited about it. It sounded interesting. Left 4 Dead with vampires cut me in, right? It sounded really interesting. Well, the game came out on launch. It was broken as hell, pardon my French. And so on Steam, immediately, like, it got so bad reviews. And what was funny, normally, when a game comes out, games like these, like from big publishers like EA, Bethesda, and stuff like that, they come out either before or on the day of release. What was funny, like all the creators, YouTube creators, and like small companies who write articles and do videos, they released the gameplay, they released the review like a little bit after which is because they don't usually get the review copy, right?
Yeah.
But IGN on the day of the release posted a video, review in progress. So they knew that everyone hates that game. Everyone hates it because it was broken as hell. So they were working on the review, waiting so some of the patches will arrive, and then release their review, which is and just to clear out, only GameStop was the only one who posted their review. It was the only video. GameSpot, sorry, GameSpot, not GameStop. GameSpot, Spot. GameStop is a store. GameSpot is there was the only one gave it 4 out of 10, and none other of the bigger ones posted their review only left like 2 or 3 days after the game came out. Yeah. So that was a little bit suspicious to me. I'm like, why?
Well, I think about that, like, it's not that uncommon practice. Some companies that are more secretive, or it's like a very large release, they try to keep it like under wraps until it's fully released. So even Nintendo sometimes for their bigger games may not give many early access keys to all the media. Fair. Sometimes it's like, for example, only one media in the whole world, or two sites have a review key in advance, like few days even, and the rest get it on launch day or like day before, which is not enough to play it.
That's fair, but IGN already got the game. They released a preview of the.
But there's a difference between preview and review, of course. But it's more likely that this would happen when the game is not in a good state at launch.
Yeah, this seemed like deliberate. That this seemed like, okay, we're just gonna wait and give the score like good. Like they gave it 4 out of 10. IGN gave it 4 out of 10. But still, like it seemed fishy to me. Well, and to many people too.
About Redfall, actually, I have tried it. I have played it for a little bit on the Series X, and I actually would say I played it in like the first few days of the release. So there was only day 1 patch, and I wouldn't say it was that horrible as some people said it was. I mean, yes, it obviously had some issues, but to me, mostly it was visual like glitches, like the slowly loading textures and stuff. So, I mean, there's also difference in what you are looking for in the review. And I think with the media, it's also about what's trendy. For example, remember when Death Stranding came out? There were 2 trends. I hate this game and I love this game, even though I don't understand it. And there were few reviews that gave it genuinely good score because they really enjoyed it. Yeah. And I think that's kind of a problem. If you're, I've been writing reviews in the past in a community media, so I kind of know a bit of the process, and I think, or what I would like to the reviews to be. And I think the reviews should be objective, but also subjective. Like it's kind of a paradox. Yeah. But basically, a review should give credits where it's due, objectively point out things that are good about the game, but also give subjective opinion, because that's what the reviews are about.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if I was reviewing, or like I was once reviewing a game like FIFA, and I was really trying to give credit where it's due. Like, yeah, they improved this, and this is actually, like, there has been some work done on this. But then again, my personal score wouldn't be so high, because I didn't like a lot of the aspects of the game. And that's the thing, like, in the review, you should defend the score, kind of. You should, like, the score is this low or this high because objectively is this, and subjectively is that lower or that higher.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I said it multiple times, and I'm going to say it again because it's really important. And the video game press seems to be forgetting it, that gaming is a very, very subjective experience.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, one man's trash can be other man's treasure.
Very true.
So, like, just because you didn't like Death Stranding, someone else could like it, and that's fine. I personally didn't like it at all, but there are people who enjoy it. And so I would always try to take care. I'm trying to, whether it's from a big company or from for example, I love reviews from Angry Joe, because me and him, we have a similar taste. So I know I can trust him, but I'm always trying to take his review also with a grain of salt, because it is his experience, not mine. But like on his experience, I can say, okay, maybe it's worth buying, maybe it's not worth buying, maybe it's worth waiting a little bit more for the games to be patched.
Honestly, like, the waiting for the game to be patched, it's
way
too common these days. Way too common.
It should not be, honestly.
Right?
Like, we should be getting, but like on the defense of devs, games are very, very complicated to make. It's not just, we said it in the first episode, it's not just few people just do some coding. You have a big teams. You have gameplay programmers. You have UI programmers. You have
3D modelers.
Yeah, testers. You have artists.
People.
You have level designers. You have all those. You have project managers and everything, and you need to take this colossal thing and make it in a game that everyone can enjoy, and it's not an easy process. So, with that said, though, we should not be getting games released in that state. I think we should stop this trend of, games just needs to be developed for 5 years at least.
It depends on the game, but
it depends on the game.
Game should.
I'm talking about the big AAA games.
Yeah, they should be given the time they need.
Yeah, exactly. Given. Because at the end, if you play a good game that's in a good state, it's gonna get more. Look at God of War. Didn't have that many bugs, and it sold out so many copies. Elden Ring, how much did it sell?
Or majority of Nintendo games.
Yeah, exactly.
The famous quote from Shigeru Miyamoto, the kind of Nintendo legend, which said something like, a delayed game may be eventually good, but rushed game
will forever be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said that in the first episode too.
Yeah, I mean, it's very valid. It's a very good quote.
So just to back on the reviews, I feel it's okay to criticize where the criticism is due. It's okay to say this came out in a trashy state, and I would give it a higher score if it would have. What is not okay is to, just because you want to have good relationship with those companies, just give it a higher score. Why for crying out loud, Battlefield 2042 got 7 out of 10 or something from IGN.
And that came even in a much worse state than Redfall.
Yeah.
Redfall is mostly visual state. Technical state isn't even that horrible.
Yeah, no. Battlefield was awful, right? And Redfall, That was a problem. There was a big hype on it, right? It was supposed to be this Left 4 Dead again, like Left 4 Dead with vampires. It's supposed to be a lot of fun.
An open world.
Yeah, an open world. So it was supposed to be this,
Actually, to what you said before with it's okay to criticize, yes. And it's okay to criticize when it's something objectively bad, but it's okay to criticize when something is subjectively bad.
Yeah.
But important thing, you need to state, hey, in my opinion, this is bad.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
I don't like this. I think that's like the biggest value of the reviews, because if you follow the reviewer for some time, you know what he likes, what he don't like. And when he says, I don't like this, it may not mean something to you. If he says objectively this is bad, it might not be bad. He's just stating a lie because he doesn't like it. And like good reviewer would usually do not that terrible score to objectively good game, even though it's not his cup of tea. And that's okay. It's good to state like if it's objective or subjective, if it's a fact or if it's an opinion. And I really love those reviews that are not afraid to be subjective, to state theirs when they are subjective, and that they are not afraid to criticize stuff that other reviewers don't dare to touch upon. Like, it's too difficult or it's too easy. Like, if you like difficult games, when the highest difficulty on the one you're reviewing is too easy, just say, I don't like that this is too easy, or vice versa. Just go for it.
Yeah, I feel that's more common among the smaller reviewers, like Angry Joe, like Actman, like Donkey. Yeah. If you like to know more of the topic more deeply. Not more deep, on a different take maybe. Donkey, video game Donkey made a really good video about this.
Yeah, it's like 2 episodes about the videos of the critics.
Yeah. So
it's quite funny.
It's funny. He's funny. Definitely funnier than us. But
true. Sad but true.
Sad but true. But recommend watching his video.
I also gotta say, on the topic of reviews, I got here the magazine. It's Czech local video game magazine Score. This is actually the 350th issue. It's been around since like 1994. And the thing about gaming magazines, they're kind of like a dying medium maybe, or like the one that was popular back in the day when we didn't have internets at home. And now there are only a few left. But sometimes these can be kind of gold for reviews. It depends. It depends who are writing them. But in the media that is printed, they often are not scared to take a deeper look at the game, because if the magazine is coming like once every month, they have much more time, because the game comes at like beginning of the month, 2 days after the magazine is released, so they have whole month to play the game. And sometimes that can be a value of the reviews in the printed media. And also these are often kind of connected to the gaming communities. So it might be a good idea to support these.
I know that a lot of people who work actually in the video game industry are writing into these magazines. One question though, this is for us Czech people. There's 2 main video game magazines: Level or Score. One's called Level, and the other one is called Score. Which one do you prefer?
I actually, as you have seen, I actually prefer Score. Okay. But I am not a regular buyer. I just buy it from time to time when I'm interested in the topics.
I used to buy Score for games, because they usually
they still have
free games.
Free games.
With it like full. I got like Fable 1 like on one of their games, and Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
The value also about these is they can sometimes do retrospective reviews.
Yeah, that's true.
Like reviews of older games that they, or like come back to the games, which is another big value to reviews. I think online magazines don't do it as often. So that's, I really like to, I remember, I think I played some games because I read some like old game because someone wrote a new review about it, and
Interesting.
Yeah, that's it's nice to look at new game. Old game with eyes from today. Some games never get old. Some games don't age with such grace. So, yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Right.
Everyone can do that. It's not just
yeah, but I think it's like the printed media have to fight for the readers. It's much harder for them than for the
they cannot just
for the online.
Yeah, because you can always get some views, either bad or good. But
like the online media can be free with ads, but even the printed media, even if they have ads, you still have to buy them, and it's not.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's a price for a small indie game, kind of.
Yeah, no, exactly. And if you do something bad with your written media or printed media, if something that majority of gamers disagree, you will lose that majority of readers.
Maybe,
so.
Yeah. Yeah. So once again, like that's one of the things they can do. So my recommendation is to check which printed gaming media you have in your neighborhood, in your country.
Or watch,
try them. It might be worth it.
Or go for the smaller YouTubers or creators who are usually more objective, and they are not afraid to say what their subjective view is. So
I have one unpopular opinion though about the bigger ones.
Yeah.
That their reviews might not always be totally useless. Because they still can point to some aspects of the game.
Okay.
Like, it's not always like that, but sometimes even the bigger ones can have some value to them.
Yeah, no, obviously, because we have a saying in Czech, 100 people means 100 tastes. So if you have different 100 point of views, everyone will see a different thing. So.
Yeah, my point is maybe that you don't need to avoid those bigger medias. I guess we're not trying to say that, but it's always better if you take the reviews from multiple sources. Especially the ones where you can really understood how they review the games.
Yeah, that's true. So just a quick question, really quickly. Do you think the reviews are necessary though?
I would say so, because if the reviewers are people that keep the I wouldn't say devs but publishers in Czech, not Czech Republic but Czech, because if the game is bad and they write a review about it, people are less likely to buy it.
Yeah. True.
If the reviews are in and it's bad, and the media has that kind of power. Of course, even though some games can have pretty bad reviews, people still buy it.
Fair.
It can also be different when the game is in Game Pass, because I wouldn't try the Redfall if it wasn't for the Game Pass.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm a Game Pass subscriber, totally love it, and I wouldn't buy some of the games that I have played through Game Pass. That's one of the things. I pay for the Game Pass so that I can play this stuff which I wouldn't really like to commit to with the 60 or even 70 euro price tag.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely not pay that for some of the games I played.
Yeah, fair enough.
But these media, the reviews have this power, and I think it's really good that we have them. I think we talked about this quite a few times already. Don't pre-order games until the reviews are out, so you can at least see what you can expect from the game.
You know what we should do? We should have just a bottom a line there that always says "Don't pre-order games, vote with your wallet." Just how in the news how they do that, just warning, don't pre-order games. Should always have that constantly popping out every now and then.
All right.
That's more work for you.
And for you, we should have there the Witcher 3 logo. Yeah, right.
Loading. Yeah, exactly. Well, with hundreds, maybe 1,000 games coming out every day, there are some controversies bound to happen. Important for these media is how they cover those events. Now, normally there are some ethics regarding how to do journalism. Truth, accuracy, and objectivity are the cornerstones of the ethics, according to Google. It seems, though, that the objectivity and truth are slowly disappearing from this media. Journalists are either accidentally or deliberately biased on their statements, articles, and videos, sometimes calling out gamer for different opinions or siding with a particular view. For example, The Last of Us Part 2, where gamers were told by the media that they need to have an open mind when playing this game instead of letting them have their own opinion and view. So, what was like something that could you just remember, some kind of article, video, or that turned out to be a hit piece, turned out to,
And once again, I probably wouldn't recall something that specific.
Yeah.
But the bias in the media, it's something we encounter basically every day when we are on the internet.
Yeah.
And stating that you should not have an opinion is bad opinion.
Yeah.
Gamers should, it's not an opinion. It's an opinion. It's not a fact. Like gamers should like what they like, have their own opinions, and the media should not manipulate or force them into liking something they don't. There's one thing, as we talked about the reviews, the subjective view, but the gamers should also have a subjective view. It's totally fine if you don't like some of that. I would say, though, that some of the bias can also come out with what we somehow touched a little bit before about the fishing for readers, like trying to get as many people as you can, because when you do this, it can say, yes, we're different, we do this, or we are that impactful.
Fair.
And that can work as a marketing. I would say this bias also comes out, I don't know the name of the media, and I'm glad I don't, because I don't want to do advertising for them. That is really bad that they do clickbait in
which video game media doesn't.
Yeah, but like there's difference between good clickbait and bad clickbait. Enough. Like they do the bad clickbait with a lot of bias, like in the articles by that.
Kotaku?
Maybe
because
someone
Kotaku
like that.
is infamous for that.
Yeah, it's likely them, and I think there are much more media like that do like a lot of bias and bad clickbait. Yes, by the way, just quick off topic about the clickbait, the good clickbait. Yeah, it's hard to get people excited to read some article.
Yeah.
And if you put a little bit of clickbait, like something to hook the attention, it's totally fine. I mean, we understand that. A lot of big media do that because, if you do some good production on a video or review and people won't read it because the title is boring.
Yeah.
Of course. But there's the bad clickbait that tries to hook you on something that's not in the article, or it's a lie that's in the article.
Yeah,
that's bad.
True. Yeah, I think that's a really good opinion, and I feel like these days also media it's hard to just find a good article. I feel like these days because a lot of the media is siding to these SJW and these like pro stuff, whatever pro it is, and as I said, Kotaku is really infamous with that. And, like we talked about it 2 episodes back, I think, or 3 episodes back when we talked about the war against video games. That was one of the things the media were covering, like, the Witcher 3, or Kingdom Come Deliverance, how they didn't have diverse cast or stuff like that. So I'm just baffled. Like, what the heck? Like, why is it important?
Yeah, the thing about these that they not just try to change your opinion or force an opinion to you. They try to change the history.
Yeah, no, exactly. And they also lie, about like with the clickbait and stuff. They lie, and they also cover. I understand, like, when there's a big rumor, you need to cover it, but it's
just state it's a rumor.
State it's a rumor, and don't jump to any conclusions, or state we're not trying to jump into conclusion, but
or like this might be the possible conclusion.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if I'm reading an article, I want to be informed. I don't want to be lied to.
Right. Yeah.
Because if I'm lied to, then I have all of a sudden, and the reality is totally different, and I feel cheated, and I feel I was promised something that was not supposed to happen.
And it also doesn't build trust overall.
Yeah.
Like if you read a media that does this all the time, you will likely not trust it. But if it's someone who most of the time says, yes, this is possibility, this is my opinion, I think this, and then you read an article that doesn't say that, you're much more likely believe that is a fact.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's so true. and also, with these controversies, like for example, the Hogwarts Legacy controversy, we covered it. Also, a lot of media sided with the transgender community, and they called this game out for being transphobic and whatever they said, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why? And also, just another thought, IGN, Kotaku are infamous for these hit pieces when they just like throw out unconfirmed information. I think that's really, really important. Like the research of the data that you are covering, because if you do not research, if you do not ask, just do some journalism work and don't just write stuff.
Don't just spread the basically known information into the first 3 paragraphs.
Exactly. And that's not just IGN. Like we had this problem with here in Czech Republic too, where the CD Projekt Red, they're one of the smaller projects, which is developed by a completely different studio, and they had some problem. They are a bit afraid about the project. CD Projekt voiced their concern for the project, and some of the media jump into the new Witcher game it's going terribly, and they didn't even say that it's the smaller project that they're working on. I say that's a bad journalism.
You know what's worst about this? That it was not just that someone misinterpreted a statement or straight up lied about it to make a hit, but if someone big does that, a lot of other can take it from them, copy their or like mimic their conclusions, or like how to say it, like get affected by their conclusions. So someone who lies for the first time can have an effect of a lot of other media, because if they have it from one source, or they cite them as a source because they had it first and there's nothing like that available because they say it was a leak or insider, whatever. Like this is really bad. Like
I mean, you look at the press and media outside of video game industry, how terrible it is. How there's a rumor and all of a sudden everyone's writing about it, and then it's not true. Or siding, like we had here, Justin Roiland, or Johnny Depp. Like everyone was, he is abusive. He is terrible human being, and everyone covered it how with no evidence, with the trial still being on, and they still posted, and no one is issuing freaking apology. You know that in Czech Republic, if someone does that, you can sue them for that. Yeah, I mean, I guess in like as a defamation case in the US too, but like still, like you cannot just write just out of nowhere about, because
Yeah, and we actually have cases about like local Czech actors that have sued some of the media. I think it was not not like the common good media, but the ones that what's it called?
Like those who are writing like hit pieces and not really serious media.
Yeah.
It's more like a coverage of popular people. Boulevard. Yeah, I don't know.
What's it called?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. It's basically like a coverage of like actors and stuff. So.
Yeah, and he sued one of them, and he won because they spread lies about him, and that's really bad when you spread a lie about someone. It can ruin.
Avenue.
No.
For crying out! Okay, we don't know the word in English.
Yeah, we can't remember.
But we have a word for it in Czech.
Yeah. And there's a word for it in English.
But I forgot it. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, these magazines are especially bad, and it's like a prime example. It's like media turned into
yeah, they just write hit
lies.
pieces. Yeah, they just write hit pieces, and they're writing like tabloids. That's the
tabloid. Yeah,
tabloid. That's the word. Yeah, like tabloids. Like they write stupid stuff.
Yeah, they often can write lies or unconfirmed information.
And that's the thing.
Rumors.
Those slowly are coming into the video game media, and it's so sad to see because the gamers don't want that. We don't need that. We don't need to, hear about that that actor slept with that actor or something like that.
It might be interesting information sometimes, but there's a difference. There's a fine line between having it as a good information, like for example, when William and Kate were married, normal media wrote about it, like every media wrote about it, because it's like something that might be interesting for everyone. So something like that in a gaming media, like equivalent of that, sure. But there's like the tabloids often go into private lives, and
exactly.
Like, they really cross the line about.
Yeah, they stir up the controversy.
Also like they also take possession of information and photos they were not allowed to, and they try to it's not our concern what the video game developers and video game voice actors do in their private time. It's
and also like
you don't have right for that.
Yeah, not just private time, but in the studio. Like they have a lot of video game studios have a lot of sensitive information because the studios usually they are connected to a publisher, and if anything of that gets leaked, it's a problem. So that's why the companies have NDAs. And you cannot just talk what you're working on, like just blatantly just say, oh yes, I'm working on the Witcher, and I'm doing this and this. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed that's coming in 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. You cannot just say that. So yeah, I guess that's one thing that was one of my questions. Like, is there something that video game media should stay away from? I feel like those very sensitive data, unless it gets like accidentally published, let's cover it. It's their mistake that it got it got out. I mean, we talked about it once that games are doing it that now as a source of a marketing strategy when they just leave a video game case just out for the world to see.
Yeah, I think gaming media should have an eye open for this, but should not actively dig into this unless there's like a very specific reason. Or something, but still, like dig into privacy. That's you should not do that.
Yeah, because you're handling a very very sensitive data, and you
can hurt those you talk about with this.
Video game industry. It's bigger than the music and film industry combined. So. There's a lot of money in it, and if something is going wrong and something is getting leaked, it's a huge problem. You have no idea how big of a problem is it. So maybe don't as Mother said, don't actively research it, and yes, cover those things. It's okay to cover those when it happens. It's their mistake again that they did not, take care of it properly. But just like I don't need tabloid. I want a serious media that covers latest news and stuff that are actually important for the video game industry.
Honestly, I would say it's much better if it's coming from almost like a community-born or community-oriented media.
Yeah,
that has much more value because we don't really need in the gaming media. We don't necessarily mean like a super serious. I mean, it's nice, but we are a bunch of enthusiasts about games, and we want news that come from the enthusiasts like we are, that obviously care enough to write a nice article, do the journalism. And as for the private information, maybe one last bit, like if these information that the media can dig up against the will of the studio or person can actually lead to some studios cancelled, games cancelled,
job lost,
people's cancelled, jobs lost, and it's bad. Like we want, if the studio is working on a great game, we of course want to see it released when its time comes. So.
I guess when I'm saying serious media, I mean having the ethics.
Right.
Truth,
No.
Truth, accuracy, and objectivity. Like those are the three things. I googled it. I googled what are the journalism ethics, and I found a really nice article about it. It was actually really interesting. Like that, those are the values that serious media have. When I'm not talking about the tabloids don't care about those ethics at all. Yeah. So that's do you have anything else to say? Do you want to like close this maybe somehow?
I think we can move on from this. I think we've said a lot about what we think about the media, what about the news in the media, about the facts and fiction. That, like if it's a fiction, state it. If it's a rumor, state it. If it's a leak, state it. Because that's the way how we can trust you. Try to be, as Michal said, the three things. Then that makes perfect sense. And we really value the media that can follow that. We like to follow the creators that follow that. And I can really appreciate the media and creators that try to be there for us, the consumers, that are not afraid to poke or point at publishers, developers, whoever that does bad things that's anti-consumer.
But also look out for the devs themselves, because they don't need to lose their job just because you're doing bad journalism. So guys, let us know, what do you think so far, what have been said. Let us know in the comments on YouTube. Also on Spotify there's a way to reach us too, or on our Instagram too.
Or Facebook.
We launch our Facebook. So link for those is going to be in the description. Please do let us know, what do you think? Maybe let us know what kind of a media are you using for getting information about.
What are your favorite creators?
Exactly. Like how do you get information about video game industry? Well, when there's a controversy, gamers are expecting to be informed in a way where they can rely on the information and not be deceived. Press is supposed to be a place where gamers get their latest news, what is happening in the industry. Objectively and truthfully, gamers are all over the world are divided, partly because of the practices of this media. The thing is that these days a lot of press is siding with one side, and the other opinions are not allowed. So it sounds like the previous topic, but I really want to focus on the fans now, because we've been lied to, we've been deceived, we've been divided,
we've been manipulated.
So what do you think gamers can do?
This is a tough one once
It
again.
is. Yeah, that's why I'm asking it.
I think we should don't follow those that consistently or consecutively try to do these things to us, that try to deceive us, manipulate us. We should not follow them, because less followers means less money, which means they will A, stop doing this, or B, stop existing like in media. So that's one of the things. And I mean, in today's age, we have social media. So if the article is bad, we can comment under the post of the article. Like, you can comment if you think we are wrong under the post on the Facebook of this episode and stuff.
Be nice to us, please.
But that's what we as people can do when something like this happen.
Yeah.
We can discuss it on Reddit, for example. Like,
Reddit seems to be like a good place.
Good place to discuss things like that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm not sure how much else is there for us to do.
Yeah, I think calling out, definitely calling out those media for deceiving, trying to just push some agenda. Usually, that seems to be a goal of today's media. Just push some, just and not even believing the trend that's happening, but just going with the trend. It seems to be trendy to push some agendas these days. And
I think that media should stay as much like unopinionated in some ways. For example, I don't want to state what the issue was. I don't want to go into that. But there was one thing being discussed by a politician, and one director of a studio that was actually doing his work well stated that he's siding with the unpopular opinion, which in my opinion wasn't bad, was actually good. But once again, I'm not saying what it is to avoid the discussion. It's kind of outside of what we are talking about. But he was fired. And then the media went at him, he was bad for having this opinion. He's a terrible person. Instead of saying, he was fired because he had this opinion and his managers or, I don't know, stockholders or whatever, shareholders and stuff like that, they didn't like it, so they fired him. They could even state like, he was doing his job well, so it's kind of sad or whatever. But they should not be that opinionated in this way too.
Fair. Yeah, that's true.
Especially if it's someone who's doing their job. And, some things, like a lot of people, not just media, well, mostly people that read the media tend to consider their opinion a fact.
Yeah,
and
that's
there
true.
are a lot of things that are just opinion.
Yeah.
Like, for example, there is, like when I say the Earth is not flat, it's not an opinion, it's scientifically proven fact.
Yeah.
But when I say, I don't know, this game is bad, or like I don't like this game, that is opinion.
Yeah.
Like this game is bad. No, it's more like I'm trying to state a fact in a way if I say it like that. But if I say I don't like this game, that's opinion. And then does it mean that everyone has to have this opinion?
That's true. Yeah. Again, games are subjective experiences.
Right?
And we're going to be saying it again until everyone gets it. So that's maybe
so
forever.
if you would like for people to get this message, if you agree with it, please share this episode as many of your friends as you can.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Share
really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Yeah. The question, all of this we just said, like, what should we do with the information given to us? Because, we're giving a lot. Like today, in these days, a lot of information. We are overloaded, basically. Every day there's coming something new. Either it's from gaming world or a movie world, like film world, or outside world. I don't know how else I would call it. But a lot of information. So what should we do?
I think first and foremost, we should try to limit the input of the information because there are a lot of media, a lot of stuff, and I think it's a great idea. It kind of helped me a lot. I started practicing that during the COVID times, and I think a lot of other people should too, that I started to follow the news much less. I've picked some of the, I mean, I don't really follow the AFK world news.
Okay.
News about the world away from keyboard, you know. I mostly follow news from the technological and gaming worlds because those interests me much more. So from the outside world, I mostly get it from memes on Reddit and some posts my friends share on Facebook and some other social media. But it's good to limit yourself from these inputs. So find a media creator that you like or multiple and follow only them and try to focus more on the information you like, and try also with the information that's given to us, don't share information that is obviously bad or lie. There's a huge problem why these rumors, these deceptions, these manipulations are spreading is that people just share them without trying to think about them themselves. A lot of the rumors and lies even about COVID, for example, the very famous lies and things that divided the society about the vaccinations against COVID, that spread so fast because people didn't say to themselves wait, is it true? Does this even make sense? And they just mindlessly shared it. So before you share information, just try to verify that it's correct. It's good to have it from multiple sources. It's also the value or quality of the source. Once again, if it builds the trust, if the source builds the trust. So if it's from media that constantly lies and doesn't differentiate between opinion and fact, it's probably not a good source. But if it's a media that says, this is our opinion and this is likely a fact, then that might be much more credible and valuable source. So try to kind of work with the information you have, not just mindlessly go through it and share it.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Do your own research. I'm not saying research everything that you read. That would be way too much. But when there's something you want to share with someone else, do your own research and listen to experts, actual experts. Just because
not self-proclaimed experts,
self-proclaimed experts, because that's been a problem in the video game industry too.
And not just the video game industry.
But we're talking in the video game industry. That there've been some experts, and a lot of that's also one of the problem of video game media is a lot of those writers and creators are not themselves working in the industry, and they're talking about stuff that only a programmer would know, or a game designer would know, level designer, tester.
That can be okay if they state, I don't work in the industry.
Exactly.
I only know this much.
Yeah, but we live in a world where you can just look up information in a minute, but that will not make you an expert, okay? But you have to have the experience. You have to learn a lot. You're not just going to become an expert. I don't consider myself expert in level design, although I work as a level designer. I am far away from to be a expert in level design. Although I know stuff, I'm still thinking my knowledge is very, very limited. So do your own research. Do diligently though.
The thing about us considering ourselves, not considering ourselves an expert, even though we are in the industry, for example, you, the thing is also that even though if you are a senior level designer for 20 years, you might not be an expert in a way or expert per se, because this can vary company to company, studio to studio. So there's no one really true expert in video game industry, I would say.
Yeah.
It's there are people who have some experience or more knowledge.
Yeah.
But I think it comes to that of, once again, how you share this knowledge.
Yeah,
you
no,
share it like this is
exactly.
my experience,
That's
or
true.
this is a fact. This is my opinion, or this is a fact.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Just because someone who works in the industry says something, that doesn't mean it's the fact. And whatever his experience is, it's still a subjective experience. And every studio and every game is very, very different in how you develop it.
It actually reminds me of one real world issue, or like a real world experience of that.
Real world?
No, like in a real gaming world. I don't want to shame here, but I know you might have heard about Gotham Knights. One of the developers of the studio stated that like the Xbox Series S is the thing that's dragging the Gotham Knights down and stuff, even though Gotham Knights looks, in my opinion, worse than, for example, the Arkham Knight games.
Yeah.
And they run at 30 FPS while not looking especially exciting, while games like Doom Eternal can handle 4K 60 FPS with ray tracing and 120 FPS, I think, even on the Series S. So, yeah, that stuff like that can happen just because they have their point of view. Yeah, it might have been an obstacle for them, maybe, I don't know, but it's obviously not the thing that is dragging the industry down.
Yeah, or
it's
just
the Switch.
It's wow, that's coming from you.
I love the Switch, but yeah, it's underpowered.
Wow. Okay, we went so down deep in the waters. Never thought possible. Goodness great. Mateusz criticizing Nintendo. What a loopy land we have entered into. Well, I just want to say also another example of those kind of thing is Unreal Engine 5. A lot of developers are criticizing Unreal Engine 5, but one thing I think they're forgetting that they've been working in an in-house engine for such a long time that they're forgetting that that they think that because they're used to it so much, they think their engine is much better when Unreal Engine is literally changing the gaming industry as we speak, and a lot of game developers and studios are transferring to Unreal Engine, understandably. So that's like one thing to show, like, hey, just because you work in the industry doesn't mean that's your subjective experience. That's great that you love your in-house engine. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that, it's your opinion.
That's the thing. It's a tool. Yeah, you can use. You can like it. You cannot like it. Once again, it's still just a tool.
Yeah.
That can make the worlds and your visions a reality and provide great experience for us, the gamers.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've tried some games that have already been in Unreal 5 or even the demos. For us gamers, that can be good thing. It can be bad thing if it's like a studio that don't know how to work with that. And once again, it's a tool. You can have opinions on the tools and
but
that's it.
Yeah, coming back to the video game media and like about the fans, I think it's also for us important to just kind of what's the word, like cherry pick, basically. We need to be careful what are we reading, because there's a lot. Like, let us know what are your favorite news that you like to read or
your
watch.
Favorite sites, magazines,
for example,
creators.
for me, For example, like for me, it's Angry Joe and a channel called I never know how to pronounce them. Game Ranks.
Oh, Game Ranks.
I love them. They have really good informative video. They are clear, are unbiased. They always subjective.
I'm not really a huge fan of some of their reviews, but
Yeah.
The other videos from them are pretty great.
Yeah, they're good. So that's for me, for example. What about you? Do you have any
I
favorites?
mean, I kind of like the Nintendo Life, for example, because it seems like it's ran by Switch enthusiasts. I know I made fun of Switch earlier, but I still love my Switch and I love the Nintendo games. But it is objectively underpowered for today's age, even for the 2017 when it was released. So, for example, I like that. From what I know, they clearly mark rumors as rumors, and even though I might not agree with all of the reviews, like the values, because as you stated, it's subjective, they still have some value to them. They are worth reading if you're considering the game.
Fair.
Even if it's low or too high, and you might not like what you find. The article itself, like the text that is written, has the value, not just the score at the end of the review. Yeah. And they seem to cover quite a lot, and they seem to even have an eye open for these rumors and leaks, which are clearly, as I said, marked. I kind of like when it's like that.
Yeah,
that's one of them. For example, it's a online magazine, like a web page.
Oh, okay. Any creators?
Like YouTube creators,
for example.
I mean, it's I don't really follow that much like gaming reviewers on YouTube, I would say. I mostly follow like from media like Linus Tech Tips, which
Fair
they
enough.
sometimes cover hardware and games, and they are really consumer oriented. Actually, I am really looking forward, or like they're already starting the LTT labs, which are for validating manufacturer claims about mostly computer hardware and stuff, which is a great step for us consumers. If the marketing is a bias and it's lies, we will probably get to know that once the labs are in full speed. So I really like that. They are not exactly games, but it's a good media for some gaming related stuff, like computers.
Yeah. Yeah, well, do let us know what is your favorite. What would you recommend to others? Because as I said, like multiple views are just better to have because you can round it up a little bit better, and then you can form your own opinion. I think just basing opinion on media is it's a bad thing. Do your own research. Be diligent, because you're just giving more power to the media.
Yeah, power to the people.
Yeah. It's oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, please do let us know if you enjoyed the episode too. If you like it, please give us a like on YouTube or
subscribe. Hit the bell icon.
Yeah, hit the bell icon on your favorite platform: Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, whatever podcast is there you'd like to listen to. Give us either follow, subscribe, whatever that's.
Or like.
Or
leave a comment if you have other opinion than us. If you have something you would like to add to this. We would really like to know what you think. How did you like this episode? How great we look, right?
Sure. Okay. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Afterward Gamers are Michal Jirásek and Matouš Plaňanský. If you enjoyed listening to our rambling, be sure to give us a follow on your favorite platform, and don't forget to rate our podcast, because apparently according to the algorithms, that's the best way to give your favorite podcast a push, and we hope that we are your favorite podcast. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can leave a comment, like and subscribe, and you can comment on the topics that we've been talking about, and we can have interesting conversation. Follow us on our social media at Afterward Gamercast on Instagram, and also newly now on Facebook at Afterward Gamers. Thank you so much for listening, We will see you in the next one, and don't forget that you can always game after work.